Hello, listener, and welcome back.
Hi.
Where last we left off, as I cue up the music, Imperial was facing off against this Satyr General of the Elvish Imperium, flanked about 30 feet behind him by 4 guards, all in this sort of gladiator-looking armor, the kind of helmets that file down into spikes with a little nose guard. And to Imperial's right, there stand the Lady Brae and the, I want to call her Fair Ornessa.
Feral?
Feral Ornessa, we love the pun, as I adjust my game ever so slightly. First up in the initiative are simply 4 guards. I don't know why they're so attentive, why they have a 19 on their initiative. But they are all going to use
all
their
4
actions.
together?
Yes.
Oh. Interesting.
We rolled the group together. But they're just standing guard, as they're wont to do. For the moment, not taking any actions. However, Brae, you would be able to see, while they have these like short swords, kind of at their belts, as I pull up their stat block to confirm, they also have what look to be smaller sheaths for spellcasting focuses.
All 4 of them?
All 4 of them.
Oh, interesting.
Whether these are for defensive measures or if this is their main tool of attack, it's hard to say. But they do seem to be at least somewhat versed in the arcane with that.
Are they guards? So are they standing at attention? You know, guards at attention usually have hand on the sword, kind of ready to draw.
Yes.
How are they?
They would have their hands hovering above the wands rather than their swords.
Okay.
With that, though, Imperial is up. She is going to launch herself, blade drawn, sort of out both hands.
Get it, girl.
Making 3 attacks, plus 1 from the haste that you gave her.
There's only 1 attack?
Haste gives 1 attack, yes. That will be 1 miss, 1 hit, 2 hits, and 3 hits.
Nice.
And then I look at her damage and weep. Because that is 9d8 plus 3d10 plus 18. Oh, here we go. So it's 41 on the d8s. So 51.
Total?
56 plus 18.
56. 74.
74 damage. As the captain takes these 3 hits, sort of, and kind of takes a defensive step back. But unlike the other creatures you've seen Imperial sort of unleash herself upon, he doesn't seem fazed by this. Bleeding, yes, and his armor's kind of got some dents in it. But he's breathes deeply, calmly. Just kind of sets himself up with great sword in hand. As he's still kind of taking that in, it is now, I believe, Ornessa's turn. She'll just kind of she's got her hands clasped together, kind of leans in, sort of, Brae, should we do anything about the guard or his friends?
Having traveled with Ornessa and them, her charm is obvious or not as much?
She's not casting a spell for it. Sort of just a glint in the eye. I believe it could be done silently. Let me just make sure.
I mean, she'd have to get quite a bit closer.
She would have to get closer.
Yeah. I'll go back telepathically to her.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we have our link.
Yes.
Let's see how this pans out, but if it starts looking bad, you take 3 of those guards. Don't let any of them get away. Charm 3 of them. Don't let any of them get away.
She kind of just gives you a very sweet smile. Kind of oh, I won't.
But just wait.
Yeah, she'll just take the dodge action for now. As it is now the captain's turn. believe immediately he regains 10 hit points.
Oh.
Oh, no, he does not.
Oh.
Don't worry about that.
Oh, no.
As he steps forward and makes 2 greatsword attacks against Igmarel here.
So our AC's 20.
He rolled 2 natural 18s,
Oh, boo.
which is 2 unnatural 27s, which both will land hits. His damage is 23 damage to Igmarel.
Magical?
Oh. It is not magical. But the blade is silver.
Oh, that's lame.
As sort of slices down. They brought this guy on for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
How much did I say? 23.
23.
And that is 23 there. As he sort of like cuts down twice, clearly has not left as much of a mark. But all things considered, he does still seem to be faring a little better. At least a little more in control of the situation than maybe he first appeared. With that, it is Brae's turn.
I'm just gonna take the dodge action.
Just take the dodge action.
Yeah.
Alright. As I very quickly. With that, it is the guard's turn, and you start to see like 2 of them begin to spread out, the outer ones.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like not moving too quickly,
Mm-hmm.
just cautiously continuing to flank a little closer to you. They are initially about like 60 feet away from you. They've reduced that to about 40 feet.
Oh, are you sure they don't want to come 30?
Not quite. But they're getting more in line with where the captain and Igmarel are kind of duking it out.
Mm-hmm.
As they do that, Igmarel sort of like breaks away for just a second, like takes 1 step back, and then like arcs her blade upwards. 4 more attacks will follow. Does she have a bonus to her attacks with haste?
With haste?
Yes.
I don't know. I think it might just be her AC.
Fair. For what it's worth, she doesn't need one, because she has like a +10 with her.
No, nothing. There's dex saving throws, AC, and an extra action.
Ah.
And speed. But...
I say that, and then I rolled a 4 and a 7, which both missed. So 2 of her attacks will hit. As I very quickly recalculate this. $36 damage is dealt on this attack, or these 2, as
36 damage?
yes, which puts him at
110?
110. Yep. And he's still not bloodied, but you watch as like both of these 2 are kind of like titans on the battlefield. Both command like a lot of just presence. Igmarel through her size alone. So when they clash, it's almost like earth shaking. They kind of like come in for like a series of really quick but like heavy like thunderclap blows, and then poof, back away. Igmarel, her wings kind of like out. That's going to be her turn there. As Ornessa just kind of like bouncing kind of from one foot to another in a little bit of a sway. Kind of like eyeing the guard who's kind of making his way around.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't made eye contact yet, but she's just kind of like got her eyes kind of out, kind of like leaning. Otherwise, nothing on her part. As the captain will take a legendary action to make 1 free attack. It's going to be a natural 1.
Nice!
However, because it will very quickly become apparent that he can take 1 of these at the end of any other creature's turn.
As many as he wants?
We'll see what happens.
Goodness.
There are a limited number of legendary reactions. but in a 1v1 like this with a lot of other characters present, he gets a lot more attacks. However, it goes to his turn directly. He will make his 2 greatsword attacks. First one's a natural 17. Second one's a natural 16, both of which will hit, even with Igmarel's improved AC.
And what are the totals on the 16?
The total on the 16 will be 25.
Okay.
Yeah. As he lands 20 damage plus 28 damage on this one.
Total?
Yes. So 28 plus 23 is...
She's 1 or 2 left.
What's that damage-wise?
I don't know. She has 1 or 2 left.
Is that 51? I'm gonna say it's 51. Yeah, because 8 plus is 11. Yeah. Perks of counting up.
Huh?
Perks of me counting up on damage. But that'll be his turn there. And Brae, you are now up.
I'm going to... I'm just going to take the dodge action again.
Okay. As your turn ends, the legendary action's going to pop. As the captain will make another attack here, and with a 15 to hit will miss. That is his first legendary action of this round. The guards continue to flank, moving kind of back, widening the ring, but getting a little bit closer in their movement. At this point, they are both about like 20 feet away from you. They have not made any moves to attack yet, but like the one that's on you, you can tell that this is a roundabout way of getting closer to you to make some sort of arrest.
As soon as I get within the 30 feet range,
Yep.
I'll signal to Ornessa.
Yep.
Be my guest.
Okay.
But don't make it obvious. Do it like silently, so no one knows what's happening.
You hear like a mental like sigh in response to that, like fine. But as they finish their movement, the second legendary action of this turn is going to pop. It's going to be another nat 1.
Nice.
As again, like the Igmarel just sort of like clashes with the greatsword and kind of like forces it into the dirt. The earth around them is just scarred by all their like missed attacks. As of now, it is Igmarel's turn. And that is going to be, well, 2 hits. I don't think I can roll below a 10 with her. It's going to be 4 hits.
Nice.
Which is going to be 2, 3. So 12d8 to start for necrotic damage. So 70 base.
How much?
70 base.
70 base?
For her necrotic damage. The blade itself... $24 damage. So that's 94 damage dealt. Plus another 24.
118.
118 damage.
So 228.
228. For those of you at home looking at the Warlord stat block, you're going to see a very, very funny little piece of information there.
Oh, does he have one of those stupid when he gets less than half his hit points, he does something dumb?
He has 1 hit point remaining.
Oh, nice.
However, that is Igmarel's full turn there. As Ornessa is just going to kind of turn, you lose, you know, her eyes kind of like drift over to the left as one of these elvish guards is going to make a saving throw. With advantage, because it's against being charmed. It's going to be a 14. So he just sort of like, the hand kind of like hesitates for a second, but it's still hovering there. As that will be Ornessa's charm action. At this point, the third of these attacks is going to pop. reactions. And the last one for him. But his turn is next.
Yeah.
This one will hit.
With a 20...
16 plus 9. 25.
Okay. Let me know if he rolls a 14 or below, because she'd probably use her reaction.
Ah, yeah. That's going to be a 10 damage to Igmarel, who's now taking 61 damage. As he sort of slashes down and then immediately follows up with 2 more attacks, because it is now the start of his turn. That is going to be... Well, it's going to be a 14 there. Which will be a 23.
So reaction.
Cool, yes.
Parry.
So Igmarel can parry this, which only buffs for this attack.
Yeah.
I can say safely that the other one misses anyway. But she will kind of like raise her blade and just like parry it back, stepping in closer. As he can't really find any purchase with the blade anywhere. His legendary actions recharge, but otherwise he's still standing his ground. Brae, you are up.
I should have looked at this while you were bringing it up, but I was so enthralled with what was happening. Does my charm work the same as Ornessa's? Like, do I have to speak anything?
I don't believe so, no.
Cool, so I'll try the one on the left.
Okay. Or it'd be the one on the right for you, because I think Ornessa's to your left.
I don't know, the one that's on me. Like if I'm looking as if I'm looking at the battle, so the one closer to me.
Okay. That's gonna be a 12. No. It was a 3, but the advantage really bumped it up.
Fail.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. I believe that's your full action, is just to get him charmed.
Yeah.
If you want to look up the exact way it works, check out the Cambion stat block.
Cambion?
Yes. It's roughly the same as how Ornessa's charm works. But if there is any nuance, it'll be there. Is that your turn then?
Yes.
Okay. No orders have yet been issued. So the 2 guards at the...
How do you spell Cambion?
Cambion.
Found it.
As the 2 guards at the back, seeing that their fight has suddenly turned much worse for their captain, going to kind of draw their wands out. The ones closer to you will do the same.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Immediately sheaths it. And the other one will as well, just because there's a very easy little network of information.
Nice.
They don't say anything, don't like acknowledge you or anything like that. Their eyes are all 4 of them still locked on Igmarel and their captain.
Yeah. Oh, so the other one failed their save with Ornessa.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
With that, Captain's going to take his legendary action. Will miss. Actually, no, hang on. Yeah. One quick thing is that when he's at less than half health, he regains a little bit of health at the start of each of his turns. So while it is Igmarel's turn, he has a little bit of health more than he did before.
So she has to hit once?
We'll see. First attack is a crit, which is 68 plus 2d10
So dead.
plus 6. We're going to roll it. That is going to be 7 plus 17 plus 6. So 13 plus 17, so 30.
30 plus 68?
That's it, is the 68. So 30 damage total. He had 218 health. I don't believe she asked your permission to kill this one. But she is definitely going to just, like, longsword, like, through his gut. Kind of, like, brings him in closer. Sort of just whispers something to him in Infernal, just under her breath.
Love it.
And then rips it out, and just, as she steps back, second attack, just full, like, just so the tip of the blade slits the neck. Just, and there's a little spitter of blood as he kind of collapses into the grass.
Nice. The ones at the back.
Boom, and just launches herself.
Don't let any get away.
She will launch herself at the one directly in front of you, but like further back, not the one you've charmed.
Yeah.
First attack, she has 3 more of these. It's going to be a 15 to hit, so not her best. It will not hit. Second attack, 18 to hit, just hits. As she rolls 3d8 plus 2d10 plus 6. 13 plus 8 is 21.
Yeah.
So I get to do. We'll call this one number 2.
Okay.
And he's going to take 21 points of damage. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And is not quite bloodied. But, you know, he's seen better days. As she follows up with her 4th attack. And rolls a 26.
Nice.
For 12 plus...
The ones at the back have stayed where they are, correct?
Yes.
So they're 60 feet away?
Yeah. For another 27 points of damage.
On that same one?
Yes. So that's 48.
48.
He's also down to 1 health.
Oh my gosh.
2 just like in both hands, just like hacking down on this guy's like shoulder. The armor is getting like savagely dented. He's like dropped down to a knee almost.
Yeah.
Igmarel herself is looking a little worse for wear. She's not at her best, but I don't believe she's bloodied yet. With that, it is now Ornessa's turn. Sort of...
I'll like just gesture my hand out like a platter, like...
She says, "Oh, you shouldn't have." And then she's going to kind of launch herself as well, but more in like a hopping arc. To get to the one that Ornessa has not yet, or Igmarel has not yet reached. With her movement, she can fly 60 feet, and they're about 60 feet away. With her arc, we'll say she's about 20 feet in the air, but well within range of her charm. This elf is going to make a saving throw, and rolls a 16, which is 1 shy of the DC. I believe. Yes. As like his hand, he's already drawn the wand, and just kind of freezes. With that, I believe all 3 of them are charmed here.
Yeah.
Until you start to do any damage to them or anything that would cause them to remake the save. So for the moment, we will mute the combat music.
Whose turn is it?
Right after Ornessa would be you.
Bonus action, 3rd level spell slot
Yep.
to regain 5 sorcery points.
Okay.
I am going to... Spells level... Question. Can I use both my meta magics at the same time?
I don't believe you can. I think you can.
Oh, never mind. I don't need to do both. I just need to twin it. I'm going to twin Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
At 3rd level.
Yep.
On the one that I've charmed, and the one that Ornessa's currently not on.
Oh, so the 2 closest to you.
There's Igmarel's on one.
Yeah, that's further away.
Okay, so the one that who's Ornessa pounced on?
Another one that's further away.
Oh, she did the far one.
Yes, so Ornessa currently has 2 of them charmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so just whichever 2 those 2 aren't on.
Sure.
And I'm gonna... Dark is the one closest to me, or the one that I charmed. Oh. So the 4 turns into a 14.
14 will not.
And then 19.
19. That's the one on you? Or the
what
one...
did I say? The
dark one was on you.
Yes, it was the orange one.
Oh, it's the one on Ornessa.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll damage. As he is going to remake his saving throw. Ooh.
18 points of radiant damage.
Okay. This one we'll say is number 3.
And the next attack made on it has advantage.
Okay. So he starts to glow and shimmer a little bit.
Yeah.
The charm is not broken.
Nice.
With that, it is the guard's turn. And they're all going to just like drop their weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, they all start taking off their helmets and taking off their armor. As Ornessa just sort of like gives a little shrug.
I like the flare.
Yeah, well, I thought they'd be easier to hit that way.
Right, you have some fun.
Oh, I will. As Igmarel sort of like turns, and she's like still like breathing heavily. There's like one of the more recently charmed guard is like right on her.
Yeah.
Like,
So there's one that has 1 hit point left, correct?
oh yes, and that's the one she's on.
Yeah.
So the first of her 4 attacks will go to disemboweling this one.
Can she miss if they're unarmored?
They're not fully armored yet because they are in like heavy armor. But it's gonna be a 22 to hit. So just and just like falls in half.
Nice.
She's got 3 more attacks and notices that everyone around her is charmed.
Mm-hmm.
She sort of turns, Brae, what are your orders?
Well, we can't just leave them.
I agree. This one, she kind of like points to what's left of the satyr. Was a worthy fight. These other ones
Not so much.
might not be worth the edge of my blade.
You don't want to kill them?
There has never been a man alive who I've not wanted to kill at some point. I will do as ordered. They were a slight against you.
Please.
She turns and starts going over the one that Ornessa charmed. Ornessa, no, wait. Ig, I'm hungry. Igmarel sort of just
There's 3 left alive?
Yes.
Ornessa, do you want to take care of all of them?
Well, I'll not say no to that. But Igmarel sort of just like kind of pushes past her and like raises the sword up. As the guard just kind of like looks up at her, kind of like wistful expression, as 3 attacks just will sufficiently end him, probably.
Nice.
Will I roll just because?
And then with that, I'll say, Igmarel, leave the last 2 for Ornessa.
The necrotic damage alone will be enough to end this one.
Nice.
So of the last 2, do a quick roll.
If they start to get away, you can deal with them.
As you sort of like, Ornessa just sort of like lazily kind of flies along to the first one, without letting her kind of feet touch the ground. She just kind of like leans in, raises the chin, does a kiss, body kind of like decays, and she kind of like flies over to the other one, like raises the chin, does a little kiss, falls to the ground. I made some rolls and it wasn't pretty.
Nice.
And I believe her average damage, more or less, comes very close to killing. So, yeah. Between those 2, she sort of just like lightly touches down. Says, all right. Well, that was fun. Are there any more out there?
I couldn't tell you, but we should probably not leave them here like this. Have they taken off their armor or not fully yet?
Not fully. Some of them had like a few like straps undone or things like that.
I would like to get Ornessa and Igmarel to start gathering like the metal of their armor and gather it all up.
Yep.
And any cloth left they can leave. And then there's 5 of them.
In total, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray twice.
Okay.
And try and like burn the bodies.
Yep, they start to kind of smolder.
Until there's nothing but like bones and ashes left.
For sure.
I'll just.
Igmarel sort of just has like a bundle under her arm of all these like pieces of armor. Sort of, are we disposing of these somewhere in particular? They might not fit well on our airship.
I really don't want them on the airship.
She kind of like turns.
How long has it been since we let the satyr guy go? Or not the satyr, the hurt guy from the basement go? I'll drop haste, by the way.
He's been gone for a little bit, because I think he ran ahead, and then you kind of, like, followed behind.
Okay, so he's probably at least, like, 15, 20 minutes ahead.
Oh, probably only, like, a couple minutes ahead.
Ah.
Like, 5-ish, maybe?
Ornessa, do you want to do a scout and see if you can find that person we healed? He definitely did not do us a kindness after we healed him up.
Oh, yes. Should I bring him back?
Have some fun.
Oh, yes. She actually will step onto the ethereal plane for this.
Smart.
It's gone.
And I'll just keep in touch.
Oh, yes.
And then I would like to gather the bones. And is there a graveyard or anything, like cemetery kind of around the temple?
Yeah, there'd be like a little bit of like a burial ground.
Does there look like there's like a fresh plot of dirt? Like a freshly dug grave?
Not at the moment.
Like they all look like they've been pretty well
kept. There's like a blank space towards the back, but no like gravestone set up or anything like that.
Okay. I'll just go to the blank space.
Yep.
Well, I don't really have anything that's good for digging. Do you have anything?
I could find a shovel.
Yeah, we don't want to go back into the church though.
She sort of like dumps the armor down for just a second. Kind of turns. She keeps looking at the satyr, and you can tell she's eyeing the antlers.
Take them.
Kind of like walks over where the satyr's kind of like puts them in a little special pouch, kind of on the back. They will look good upon our airship. The first of many.
Put them in your room.
Kind of like smiles a little bit. You know, she doesn't smile a lot, but she goes, "Oh."
The kind of the little side, like one side of her face. Just
Yeah, the kind of like little smirk.
Yeah.
Oh. I'll put them there. Yeah.
I guess does the breastplate, could it kind of be used to dig?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably like a groundskeeper shack or something that you could go into looking for like a proper shovel.
Okay.
But the earth here isn't exactly soft, right? Like it's pretty packed.
Oh, it's like winter.
It is like late November, honestly.
Can I like... How does Mage Hand work? Oh, I don't have Mage Hand with her.
No mold earth.
Boo. No.
Ooh. Yes, to confirm it is December 5th.
Ooh, yikes.
Or roughly. The 5th of Rellon.
Yeah, let's just go look for a shovel.
Sure. You go up to this little like groundkeeper's cottage. Igmara will just sort of like put her hand on the door and twist until it breaks. It's very clearly locked. Just kind of like throws it aside.
Love it.
Opens the door. There are like shovels and rakes and like little gardening tools.
Yeah, grab a shovel.
Yeah.
And then I'll grab one, get her to grab one.
Yeah. And
then go back and start trying to dig a bit of a hole, enough to drop the bones in.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Guidance?
Yeah, you can guidance yourself.
This one was a good one. 12, 11.
Wow, that you tied Igmara.
What?
You're both working away at this, and it's like you're kind of getting a little tuckered out. But eventually you kind of like widen the gap. The sun at this point, actually it was very early morning when you came here, so it's probably like
midday,
if that.
Yeah.
But you're able to kind of get it a little higher. Igmara will sort of like huck the bodies in.
We burned them up, so is it just...
Oh, the pieces, the bones. Yeah. Are we putting the armor in as well?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
I don't know. I don't think we'd be able to sell it.
Do you think Scorching Ray would melt armor if I just
Scorching
fire?
Scorching Ray is like instant blasts,
Mm.
so just little bursts of heat.
Yeah.
I'd say probably not.
Boo. Okay.
Igmara will take a badge off of the captain's armor.
Fair.
And stow that with the antlers.
Mm-hmm.
And then throw the rest of the bones and the like into this pit. At that point, there's a little ping as Ornessa's just kind of like sitting on one of the gravestones, just kind of like kicking her feet in the air. Like, oh, I'm back.
Did you get him?
Oh, yes.
Oh. Was he apologetic at least?
No, he said he didn't do it.
Well, too little, too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. How many? The armor are they like distinguishing features beside the badges, or is it just like kind of generic armor?
It's not enamel, but it's kind of engraved like vine patterns.
Yeah.
Where the leaves are very clearly like dragon's wings. So to someone who knows about the Imperium, this is probably pretty iconic. You wouldn't recognize it, but it seems distinct enough that it's...
Yeah, it's not just like generic armor. It's got stuff. Okay. Then can we put the earth back? Kind of fix the grass.
Igmaro starts like...
Is it grass or is it kind of like gross because it's winter?
It'd be pretty gross since it's winter. It's December, so we're coming out of fall.
Yeah. Okay, so it's... Yeah.
There's enough like gross leaves that once you shovel it up, you could kind of cover it.
Yeah.
Which Igmaro will do. She'll kind of like shovel it over top. So like, let's have that kind of a sigh. There's a little bit of like mist in the air at this point. All right.
Well...
Anything else we should clean up while we're here?
Did anyone from inside... I guess we wouldn't have seen if anyone from inside came out. No. Let's leave them to my mom.
Okay, if you say so.
And I'll go start walking up with the shovels back.
As you're doing that, Igmaro sort of... Brae, may I offer you some counsel?
Of course.
That priest in there. Do you think your mother will deal with him?
If she doesn't, we could always come back.
That is wise. I would never advise you to subvert Lyra's interests. But a goddess of peace has certain limitations she must abide by. Limitations that you don't have. In any case.
Shall we?
Yes. I'm sure Miria is waiting for us.
Ah, yes. Forgot about her.
And you're making your way back?
Yeah, we can back the ship.
Okay. As you are...
Oh, there are going to be more people on the ship.
What?
As we're walking, I'll give her a 3rd level Cure Wounds to Igmaro.
Yes. Oh, yes. Roll that.
1, 2, 3 D8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, which is just plus charisma, right?
Yeah.
So nice. 19 hit points. Okay. Yeah, and we'll walk back.
Waka back.
Yeah.
Love it. You return to the first time this has been seen on stream. Your airship.
Is there going to be a picture?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see what we can do. If not, then it'll just be the same thumbnail image. But yeah. I won't promise anything just yet. This airship, named I believe the Opulence, it's built almost like a wooden blade. Like it's kind of like a vertical, kind of like sharp prow, less boat-like, more distinctly an airship. It has 2 wings that come out, almost like a biplane, where it's 2 rows of wood with like sails in between, that kind of angle down a little bit, like a bird's wings, like they can flap. There's a bridge built towards the back, a large ballista on the front of it. The ship itself isn't super large. I believe it's got sort of a mahogany kind of hull, like very polished, kind of like a dark, kind of like a wine red almost. Kind of matches your vibe. With a little like ladder built into the side that kind of goes down, and up at the top, you see the familiar face of Miria. This is a purple tiefling. She has kind of horns that kind of go back and point up, and a large braid running down her back, very like finely done, where the front of her hair is a little unkempt. She stands at attention when she sees you, kind of you can see that she's visibly like straightening. She wears the traditional garb of a member of the Silk Fleet.
Mm-hmm.
Black, where most would have red, she has like a dark purple because she serves your aunt.
Summerwell, yeah.
Yes, the noble lady Summerwell. But for now, she's been assigned to kind of be in charge of your ship, maintaining it, things like that. She sort of like, you can see she kind of like snaps to attention. Sort of, Brae, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, you weren't gone long.
It didn't take long.
Oh, yes. I wasn't sure if we would be spending the day here or not, but are we making off now?
Yeah, we'll make our way back.
You kind of like get up to the ladder,
Mm-hmm.
and Igmarel sort of like extends like arms to like carry to fly you up.
Oh, lovely! And I'll like hop in her arms.
Boom! Like launches herself
Yeah.
up and then touches down lightly and drops you off.
Thank you.
A ladder like that wouldn't be dignified,
Hmm.
Given your status. This is why I prefer airships. We can just lower a bridge. With that, Igmarel sort of looks around. You didn't see any sign of anyone while you were here? Very sort of, I don't think so, no. Kind of looks over her shoulder like, it's been pretty dead, all things considered. Igmarel sort of like gives her a look and kind of grunts, and then sort of heads down to where her chambers might be.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not a large ship, so her room is probably just like converted guests' quarters. But with that, Ornessa's sort of like, well, I'm going to go lie down somewhere or something. I don't know. But are we going somewhere fun now, or?
We were just gonna go back to see NTV and ask her about this whole situation.
Oh. All right. Well, we could always get her to come here.
True. She can teleport, right? Can't she? Yeah. Sure. All sending to Valencia.
Yes.
All done? No, I'm not going to send yet.
Okay.
I'd like to instruct Myria to just get us in the air and kind of over the forest more, like, or back in towards the inner continent.
Sure.
Like back starting
You're
to
gonna
go.
You're gonna go more east.
Yeah, towards like the Silk Fleet.
Sure.
For a little ways, and then I would like to spend an hour.
Okay.
Tuning.
To the staff. Okay. I believe you can attune as part of a short rest.
Yeah.
So you can take a short rest as well.
Can I now?
Yes. While you're doing that, there is sort of like, not a lounge, but sort of like general living space down below. This ship is sort of, it's not a pleasure cruiser, but it's sort of like, it's a more luxurious than like a warship. So there would be like a living space with like cushioned seats and like a small table. So you can go down there and kind of spend this hour learning this. While Ornessa just sort of like leans over the chair and like watches you, like watching the staff. It's like, what is it? Is it like, does it
It's magic.
do things?
I think so.
Oh. You would learn the properties of this staff. While it is a staff of power, it also has, I believe it's the loud property.
Loud?
Yes. Which I will look up to confirm. Yes, it has the loud quirk.
Loud quirk.
The item makes a loud noise. In this case, it's a resonating gong when used.
Let me make a note of that.
Yes.
How loud?
We'll say audible within like 150 feet. So not quite a thunderclap, but fairly loud.
Cool. Is that if I cast spells through it?
Yes. So if you use it for
If I use it as a like not a focus, but
me see. I would say definitely any spells through it. If you were to break it, then it would make noise regardless.
Yeah.
So I would say the gong gets a little drowned out.
Because it says while holding, you get a +2 bonus to AC saving throws and spell attack rolls.
None of that would activate it.
So
that's
just
sort of a passive
using it
to
cast the spell. So like using any of the spells it has.
Yes.
Cool.
So I'm looking. Or I would say if you use the power strike.
Power strike.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever use it.
That's fair.
It's gonna make a sound using it as a melee weapon. I might as well use it. Okay. Sweet. Would it be safe to add it, the AC saving throw spell attack roll, to my sheet, or just leave it?
You can add it all in if you like,
Okay.
unless you're planning on getting rid of it.
No. I'm gonna keep it on me.
Yeah.
But like, it's on my back. I gotta pull it out, or is it just passively like I'm gonna use it when we start combat type thing?
Yeah. It's just an object interaction to pull it out, and usually that doesn't come up.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Lovely.
Yeah. With that, around the time your hour ends, Ignorel will sort of step out of what would be like a crew chamber.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get like a glimpse through it. All the hammocks and anything that was like supplies have been well removed, and it's been converted into sort of a spooky angel dungeon. As she very clearly has a little mantle set up with the antlers. As well as what look to be several dragon skins. She sort of steps out, kind of sits down across from you. Shall we have Miria prepare us some tea? I'm not accustomed to watching over people who don't sleep. But it is still early in the day, so I suppose that would be an issue of what to do regardless. Normally I kind of looks around. Quiet moments like this, I'm not really sure how to act.
You can really just do whatever you want. If you want to sharpen your blade.
Kind of nods, yes.
Clean it a little bit. I can prestidigitation it if you want.
I cleaned it already.
Okay.
I remain disciplined at all times. It's quiet here. In the Scourge, we spend time scheduling our next attacks. If we are not in the process of carrying out a raid, we are planning or training for our next one. Things here seem more relaxed. She kind of pulls out a little sharpening gear, starts sharpening her sword over her lap. As she does that, Ornessa sort of well, are we rejoining the Silk Fleet, or are we thinking of maybe kind of lowers her voice. She lowers her voice in the telepathy.
Yeah.
Calling your aunt.
Yeah, I'll send. Now I'll send to Valencia.
Yep.
We are finished at the temple. Some interesting things happened. Mind coming and joining us for a quick chat?
There is no response. But immediately the room darkens. And you can watch as, by the candlelight, the shadows all darken, stark difference, as your shadow stretches in front of you. Almost towards, the lit lantern.
Pretty sure that happened at the Ember Temple.
Maybe. As it, it's uncanny, because all the other shadows go the correct way out to the side of the room, but yours goes in front of you. As your hand in the shadow kind of reaches up the table and then materializes, kind of pulling it out. As if this 2D image is kind of popping forward.
Cool.
All the darkness in the room that's kind of formed from this begins to swirl, creating this black kind of wispy dress, over which is draped a gold, gilded rib cage, which kind of almost like decorative armor. as this woman, shoulder-length black hair, young features, looks to be like mid-20s, but you would know her to be much older. She wears these kind of black gloves, concealing hands that are very similar to your own. Each finger is ringed with this gold claw, kind of reaches out on both of her hands. Besides that, she wears very little in the way of jewelry, but she does wear around her neck a glass eye, bright blue. She kind of rises from like a kneeling position, kind of turns to you. You've summoned me? What interesting things do you have to share?
This is how she appeared to me in my dreams while I was in Barovia, correct?
Correct, yes, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, the gilded ribcage, like I remember that, okay. Yeah. But she looks younger than normal.
No, she looks about as young as you would know her.
Okay.
It's just that you know physically she's older.
Yeah,
This is a product of her lichdom.
Yeah. Shall we go chat?
Are these accommodations not suitable?
We're just in the, like, mess hall.
You're in, like, the common area.
Yeah.
Igmarel sort of, like, straightens a little bit more. Miri is upstairs. Ornessa is just, like, leaning on her, like, elbow. Watching Opulence,
Yeah. This'll do. And I'll sit, please, just over to the other chair.
Yeah, she'll just kind of sit, like, legs crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Please, enlighten me on these adventures of yours.
You mentioned before we left how sometimes you put thoughts or ideas in people's heads. Did you send those bandits to the temple?
Kind of thinks about it for a second. Like mulling the question over. That's a dangerous thought.
It just seemed too convenient that they were there.
Do you think I'd put you in danger?
I wouldn't really say we were in much danger. They weren't much of a challenge.
There's like a little bit of a gleam in the eye there. She's kind of like, well, in that case, I'm glad you fared well. Sometimes I find testing the faith of your mother's worshippers is a good way to improve their stock as a whole. Tell me, did their faith win out in the end?
The priest still concedes, believes Eldath is the true goddess of peace. But I called my mother, sent to my mother, and she's going to come meet him and another priestess who was willing to take over as priestess to Lyra. So we'll see what happens there. But my question... Oh, I had a really good question for her and I forget what it was. My question to you... Oh no, brain. It was such a good one, and then I was gonna ask, but...
Ornessa just, it's okay, I forgot everything from today when she came in. This is like watching your tails kind of like just drifting in the air with a little heart.
Do you know of a network that summons fiends to do different jobs?
I know of a number of fiend summoning cults. A network like this, I've not heard of before.
Though, they were the ones who were there.
Oh, I know.
So it was you.
Brae, don't make me confess something that might cause a rift in our wonderful family in the future. I think it's very fortunate, lucky, as you put it, that you came upon these people, dealt with them, made your presence known. Well done. But beyond that, I'm not so sure it matters all that much who sent them, if anything. This fiend network. I don't think they're of much consequence to you. Probably just a thieves' guild or something. Also, did you send me something just now?
No. I typed it so that it's going to be part of the conversation.
Okay.
But I just wanted to remember it.
For sure.
I already forgot it.
Okay.
So did you send... Ornessa, what did they call themselves? Igmarel, what did those guys call themselves again? The Satyr and the Imperials?
Ornessa just, why, I don't know. As then Igmarel sort of, the Satyr and the others?
Yeah.
Members of the Imperium?
Yeah, what is that? Did you send them as well, Valencia?
Valencia sort of, no, I don't have many contacts that far west. If they came and stopped by, that's regrettable. Not something I calculated. Could have been a passing patrol, someone who was alerted. But, again, I'm glad you fared well.
They didn't.
She just, like...
Igmarel did quite a number.
Fully straight-faced, staring at you good. No one who faces you should fare well.
Okay. So, here's my thoughts as we were in the temple and I chatted with my mom. I don't understand. If my mother is so powerful, why does she need you?
Valencia sort of... I have a dangerous series of questions here. They don't have a clean answer. Many have asked where Eldath was when, some 90 years ago, the Raven Knights sacked your mother's village. Where was Eldath? The nation of Honshu was consumed by a volcano, and the trading unions set themselves against Gavlok, rivaling up the Raven Knights one more time. A goddess is a powerful thing. Even the most powerful goddess can fail. I ensure that even when war does break out, even if it's not in your mother's name, because how could it be? Goddess of peace can't wage a war, can't take a life, but I can. And when I do, it serves the interests of our fleet, of our family, and often of your mother directly. If I'm being honest, you spoke of a priest who seems resilient to what you've shown him.
Resistant?
I admire resilience in the face of overwhelming odds, which you are to creatures like that. But, if I may be so bold, the creatures there that you left behind, I think they would be better suited to serving your own needs than your mother's. And, though I speak casually of it, I'm a little surprised that priest still wears his skin, especially with the tools you have at your disposal. Not that I would call it a mistake on your part. I trust your ability to scheme and act on your own ambitions. But soon the time will come when others, weak things, start asking you for aid. Pick your friends. I'm not saying you need to build an army or a church.
Who wants a dinky little temple in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. But you've a fine airship here. And as lovely as your friends are, I find one could always use a few more companions. Find one or two who strike your eye, and perhaps you can make a pact with them, as I made mine with you. That's my counsel. Sort of gestures, just kind of like waves a hand, and Ornessa like stands like straight up and starts like, without a word, starts moving away into like the storage area. You can hear some like rummaging. Kind of looks to you, wine.
Please.
She's already bringing it.
Lovely. I assumed she was going somewhere.
As very quickly, like with a little pitcher,
Yeah.
Ornessa comes up and like pours like 2 little glasses of wine, and then like sits down with like the pitcher and starts like sipping on it. Like eyes going back and forth.
I love it.
Igmarel kind of like hand half raised to like accept a glass, kind of like retracts it. Well, is that all you came to question me on?
What's next?
Oh. Well.
I don't really want... Well, I know Arnessa doesn't want to return to the Silk Fleet. I don't know how much is... Besides you and my family, I don't really know what's there for me. Igmarel just hangs out with wherever I go, she goes.
There's a grunt and like a nod. Well, you've got this airship now, yes?
You do.
And I find flying can be a wonderful thing. Freeing, like nothing else. I would advise you not return to the Silk Fleet for some time. I have my ambitions for you there, but they can wait. We're immortal after all. Lichdom gives us the luxury of time like nothing else. Kind of like looks. And your present stewardess aside, everyone in this room will live for quite a long time. So be patient, be free. I'm sure there will be people who come looking for you for guidance, power. You are in an interesting position. If you want to police temples, you may. But one day, as I've instructed you, you'll be able to remake them in your own image, if you see fit. As I said, I've planted quite a few seeds, not all of them religious in nature. But there are people out there waiting for you, even if they don't know it yet. Singers and dancers and all the like. Merriment can be a lovely thing. I would advise you revel in it, but it's your life, dear. Kind of like finishes her drink and kind of like delicately sets it down and stands. Now then, it's been some time since I fed my phylactery, so I believe I'll need to tend to that tonight. And I find it's best to get started with a festival well in advance. Are you finding this airship to your liking?
It's not bad.
Is it acceptable? Worthy of the name?
I mean, it needs some work, but hopefully it'll be worthy of the name.
Her expression was relaxed, but it like immediately hardens. What work does it need? We can see to it.
Well, this common area doesn't really seem very opulent. It just needs some decor.
Would you have me bring in an architect, a designer?
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Prepare a list of changes and I'll have them made. We'll have to teleport them in. I don't want you returning to the fleet yet. Your mother is, to put it plainly, unhappy with your presence at rebellious temples like this one. But rest assured, I won't let that come to you.
I was just trying to help her.
I
She
know.
wasn't doing anything herself.
And I'm proud of the efforts you've taken here.
Thank you.
Living priest aside. Now then, before I'm off, I did have one last question for you.
Yes.
Victor.
I forgot about Victor.
He's been asking about you ever so much, and for whatever reason, your mother gave him to me to keep around.
Mm-hmm. Could you find him? He's a wizard, right?
Yes.
A wizard's guild teaching. I promised him I would help him improve in his powers.
Look at you, making good on a promise. You'll learn very quickly that that's optional. But if you wish to see it honored, I'll look into it for you.
If you wouldn't mind. Yeah. I don't think he really fits into our little, look to Igmarel and Ornessa posse we have going on.
I can't imagine
It's
why.
missing a few key parts. Horns, come on.
Yeah. And wings occasionally.
Yeah, come on.
Alright, I'll see to it that we find a nice little home to put him in. If you need me again, feel free to call.
Of course.
Would you like me to check up on you, or I feel you're freer now?
I mean, I always love seeing my on TV.
I'll be around. You're destined for great things, Brae.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see them come to fruition.
I can't wait to figure out what they are.
As she kind of presses her hand down in front of the candle, and her hand sort of into the shadow. As she kind of looks back at you, gives a faint smile as her whole body just kind of folds in and is now your shadow.
Ooh, creepy.
Which now immediately kind of stretches back and the room brightens a little bit as it returns to normal. As immediately, Vanessa sort of blinks and sort of, what happened?
What do you mean?
Is that what it means to be charmed?
Did she charm you?
Like wafting her hand by her face, oh my
I
goodness.
look to Igmarel, the huge grin, eyes wide, to Igmarel and then back to Ornessa. Back to Igmarel, back to Ornessa.
Igmarel sort of raises an eyebrow at Ornessa.
Were you physically charmed? Or just, well, physically, but magically charmed? Or just, you're very enthralled?
I don't know. Lyra, it was something. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to take your mom's name in vain. It's just, that was something.
Ew. Well, you said we're in the Toroni Wilds, correct?
Yes, more south, but in that kind of region.
Kind of in there?
More in the plains, you're not fully in the forest.
Over here.
Yeah, kind of north of, what is that?
Willowvale?
Willowvale? Yeah.
Have I heard anything of Willowvale? Because where's the Silk Fleet? Aren't they up closer to Usai?
They're closer to Tyr right now.
They're closer to Tyr right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So more directly east of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make me a history check, though, on Willowvale.
I don't think that's very good. Oh, that's not bad, actually. 21.
21. Oh my goodness. It is a meeting place of elves and humans. A crossing point, some say, to the Feywild. Though a lot of that's just kind of rumor and legend of the bards. There are a number of big sort of festivals that go on there.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Bard Race of 5500 took place there, where bards kind of like cross the continent, playing at every town and hamlet that they kind of come across. And there are a number of, I guess we'll call them pageants. Not quite fashion shows, but like, call them like festivals to beauty and sort of events like that. Very glamorous things. Otherwise, though, it is a rather humble town. Ruled over by, let me see here. I believe it's a hexblood. So sort of like a fey-touched gentleman. With your 21, you would know that none really know his name. He claims to be a fey lord.
That could be pretty interesting to check out. Willowvale?
It could be.
Ladies, how about we head to Willowvale, see if they're having one of their festivals?
Sort of, oh yes, absolutely. I want to go see a festival. What kind of festivals are they?
Beauty.
Oh, that sounds...
right up your alley?
Nice. Oh, the tail kind of like, its little heart, she kind of wags a little bit. She's like, oh, yes, I can't wait. She kind of like turns on her heel and kind of like prances up to the top deck. Igmeral sort of. Your aunt.
Yes.
I've known her for longer than I've known you. She's a dangerous woman. But if she has plans for you and you trust her, I imagine she'll take you far. She has been different lately, though.
How so?
Since you and your brother were born. I'm not sure of the details, but my old captain, before you, Ethereal, she had meetings on occasion with Lady Arami and Valencia and your mother. There were others too, from my section of the fleet. I think, in some ways, Valencia has a soft spot for the children of Lyra.
She has a soft spot for the children of Lyra?
Yes. Definitely for your brother, but it seems apparent she has directed it at you as well. I can't imagine if it's part of a scheme or to manipulate you.
Scheme? I don't think she would do that. For me?
Valencia is known for gaining the affections of, like, does a little, like, side-eye. Brae. It's no secret that she subsists on the souls of others, that she is followed by her shadow guard. There are rumors that her shadow guard is made up of former courtiers, paramours. Whether or not that's true, I can't say, but it makes me cautious for your sake.
Well, she's looked out for me ever since I was a child.
This is true.
She taught me a decent amount about myself and magic and how to harness my powers. Even offered me my pact when my mother's was failing.
Yes.
I don't see... I know she manipulates others, but I don't think she would do that to me.
She sort of leans in a little bit. I've heard on occasion certain blasphemous rumors. How likely do you think it is that Valencia is your mother?
0 out of 10.
Kind of like leans back and nods.
Who
Good.
told you that?
Someone I killed.
When?
Some time ago. While you were asleep. It was shortly after my rebirth. The effect it had on me caused people to murmur about your nature. About Valencia's ambitions for you. The word daughter was used. I slit the man's throat.
Thank you. That seems rather inappropriate.
I thought so.
I feel
as
my
well.
mother would know if I was Valencia's daughter. Birth is a very personal thing.
My thought as well. She kind of looks like she wants to say something and then kind of like stops herself. I think, yes, if you trust Lady Summerwell, then I will trust her as well. Forgive me if I seem overly suspicious.
Caution is good.
Just a stern nod in response. She kind of stands, her sword now thoroughly sharpened, like sheaths it.
Nice.
It's worth noting, whatever kind of like whetstone or like grindstone
Yeah.
she uses, there's probably some sort of gemstone. We'll say like a ruby, something that can actually get an effect on adamantine. Because otherwise an adamantine blade is just going to slice whatever it touches. So some sort of like an enchanted ruby like a lump.
That's funny.
But she'll just kind of stand, sheathe the blade, give you a little bow, and I'll be in my chambers if you have no other orders for me.
Just if you have any changes you'd like to your chambers. Apparently Valencia will be sending an architect, so please write them out and bring them my way.
I shall. Thank you.
Of course.
Sort of turns and heads in. With that, Miria strides down the steps. Brae, we have set course for Willowvale.
Lovely.
As I pull up the map to see how long it will take.
Map.
In universe, it's Miria kind of like struggling to get this big map splayed out.
Mine doesn't have hexes on it. Or the one that I'm looking at.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me see. We're leaning. We're doing some like.
We're doing some mapping. So
on
like,
the fly.
if it's like, you know, like
Yeah.
there to there, it's also like there to there.
Yeah.
So you're
at
you
the
could
woods.
roughly
Yeah,
you could
you-
roughly use your hexes if you wanted.
Yeah.
for
So
that.
we're at the woods edge. I'll say you're not in a slow ship. So say like 3 hexes a day.
Nice.
Yeah. You can arrive probably by like tomorrow evening.
Oh,
So we'll take the full day today, more or less the full day tomorrow into the evening.
cool.
As you begin to set course, is there anything you'll be doing on the voyage, either to pass the time or to?
Can I get Igmerald to start teaching me Infernal?
Yes, absolutely.
I would like to learn Infernal.
Yeah, she will begin teaching you Infernal. I'm not sure how long that takes. As I look it up here. But we'll say you have, oh gee, DM's Guide says you can do it in 250 days.
So,
Fun.
a day.
A day. Yeah. So we'll say, I mean, you also don't need to sleep. So if you want to like,
Yeah, but she does.
does Igmar need to sleep?
Maybe? I don't know why she wouldn't.
She's a fiend.
Do fiends not need to sleep?
Ugh.
Or is it just undead?
This is the bookkeeping part of the session. I think she does need to sleep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes. All that editing stuff aside, just to say that yes, Igmerald does need that. Igmerald does need to sleep. So yeah, you could knock off 1 day.
Sweet.
As you do that, Every now and then, you'll kind of like catch a glimpse of.
Can we do like milestones of learning it when you're at like 100? Like a D20, there's a 10% or 20% chance of you knowing some words.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, like, I'll say you start to know like a couple words.
Yeah.
Day 1, you're learning like some like really simple,
Sounds.
just like here are all the curse words.
Nice.
But it's mostly just like guttural.
Yeah.
Real ugly
Yeah.
ways of pronouncing things.
Mm-hmm. It's a way to pass the time.
Yeah, right. Igmarel will sort of teach you over a game of like dragon chess.
Yeah.
She'll be playing it, letting you learn the names of the pieces and the like.
Sir, what's queen again?
But yeah, you're sort of like slowly but surely starting to pick it up.
Sweet.
As the day goes on, it's fairly uneventful. It begins to rain a little bit, just lightly. You hear like the pattering on the deck of the ship. Ornessa will come down and put on her like little winter coat that she has. Just to kind of like stay. She'll light there's a little fire, not a fire pit, but like a brass kind of. Yeah, like a place where you can light up safely.
Fair. On a wooden ship.
As Muriel will come down and do the same because she's up on the deck.
Yeah, a little chilly.
Freezing in the rain. But as you are...
I'll like prestidigitation her dry.
Thank you.
Oh, anytime, my dear. You're part of the crew now.
Oh, if you say so.
If you need something, just ask.
Just like thinks for a second. A long night's sleep. Not for
Unfortunately, I don't know if any of us can actually fly a ship. That's the only issue.
Oh, of course. I only mean that in jest, my lady. I'll be up there if you need me, though. And she'll head back up. But as she does, you hear this door closed. As if someone is in the room with you. You hear this voice.
Hello?
It's got like a strange sort of accent to it. I don't know who you are. But if you're listening, I will give you anything if you would help me in this matter. I've given so much, spent so long to win this honor. All I ask is that you grant me that power. In return, you can have anything of mine. If only you could answer. It's like as if someone were speaking to you like face to face. But as you're looking around, like Igmarel's pondering a move. Ornessa's just sort of like warming her hands by the fire.
Hello?
No one's really reacted. They all both kind of look at you.
Did you hear that?
Is there someone?
It sounded like they were here clear as day. Some man with a strange accent.
Oh, you would know it as a woman's voice.
Oh,
yeah.
Some woman with a strange accent.
Oh,
It sounded very male. It's your male tone.
As Igmarel sort of, oh, Brae's hearing things. Brae, who's talking to you? Did someone charm you?
I feel like I'd know if someone charmed me.
Think something bad about the person.
They're ugly.
She kind of like shrugs. No one's ever been able to do that with me.
Oh, how could they? Charmed or not.
Oh.
Can I try and think and visualize a person or feel where it came from?
Yeah, make me an Arcana check.
Arcana.
Or a religion check.
They're the same modifier.
Whoops.
5.
Whatever connection was here is incredibly frail.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be vanishing almost as soon as it formed.
Yeah. Kind of sounded like a prayer.
Igmarel looks up kind of like concerned, like, has your mother shared anything of this with you? Is this something to expect?
Not really. I don't think so.
They kind of like the two fiends kind of like share like a worried look. For them, like, most deities are things to be like feared or like worried about.
Worshipped. Come on.
As Vanessa sort of, Brae, maybe this is a part of like growing up as like a goddess's daughter.
Maybe.
Like when you get older, people start like.
Maybe their like prayers get transferred to me instead of my mom.
Oh, like she's busy.
Yeah, like a rerouting. I'm not very intelligent.
Yeah. As she's sort of like, oh, I guess so. Because like, you weren't given any power, right? I mean.
Well, besides the obvious.
Yeah. Igmarel sort of like, no, but you haven't claimed any goddesshood.
No. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed, but nothing of note has come up yet.
Igmarel sort of like mumbles to herself, like,
Infernal.
Yeah, you can't pick any of it up.
Ah, darn.
You pick up some sort of bad word, like, drat.
Fudgesicles.
Yeah, you got that one. You're learning well. And she sort of, can you respond?
Person that called out to me. Hello. I am Brae.
There is, like, you can still feel that, like, faint connection.
Yeah.
And you respond, and all you get back is, like, an exclamation of, like a gasp. There is someone.
Who?
And then severed.
It's gone.
As it's like, the other two fiends are like, well, okay. Do we think maybe she's, like, nearby or something?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I say we just keep going to Whispervale?
Willowvale?
I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it went. Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from? I don't know.
Interesting save on the rhyme there, but you know.
Can't hit the copyrights.
Yeah. As Igmarel sort of with that kind of like hastily wraps up her like the chess game there. Make me an intelligence check. If you're proficient with chess tools, you can add your proficiency bonus.
9.
9. Igmarel will roll a pity check. She beats you, but does it honorably. That is kind of an checkmate.
Aww.
It's okay, you will learn. She kind of like thinks really hard on it. I'm not sure if you have any direct relatives who have beaten me at this game.
Probably not.
No.
Maybe my brother.
Your first cousin once removed, perhaps, could beat me in a game like this.
Who's that?
He goes by the name Percivalius.
Oh, ew.
But
sorry, that's meta you. Sorry, Jason.
He's, you know.
No, I know Percivalius because we've met him in. Ew, he sucks.
You would also know that he's like considered a mass murderer in your fleet.
Yeah.
And killed Igmarel's old captain.
Liar butter back.
Yeah. But sort of. In any case, figures like that aside, I pride myself on my abilities to play this game. That she could have like starts resetting the board.
Maybe one day.
You watch as like, what's your passive perception?
10.
It's 10.
Yep.
Your bedroom door just kind of closes. Igmarel, like hand goes to the sword. someone snuck into your room.
I'll like look for Renessa.
No sign of
That's the noise for telepathy,
her.
friends.
Yes.
Is that you?
Oh, yeah, hi.
Are you in my room?
No.
Well, I just need to know if you are, because Igmarel is about to go all
Yes,
murder rampage.
yes, I'm in your room.
Okay. Yeah, it's Ornessa. I'll say Igmarel.
The grip tightens on the sword a little bit.
Put my hand out.
Alright. If she's bothering you...
Oh, she's never a bother.
Well, in any case, I do need to retire for the evening. But...
Have a good sleep.
And you as well. Just immediately pauses. Apologies, I am mistaken. You will not sleep well. Hopefully.
I will not sleep.
In that case, remain vigilant. And if this voice tries to contact you again,
I'll let you know.
please. She stands, kind of like turns. I don't even think she can stand fully straight anywhere below decks. So it's kind of like she stands up and her like horns kind of like into the ceiling level. She's like thunk out. And
Maybe that's one of the things we need to work on is raising the ceiling or lowering the floor.
Yes, even if we lowered the supply decks somewhere I wouldn't go, it might be easier for me to maneuver.
Walk around.
Like hand on the door, kind of like stoops through. Wings tucked in real tight.
Yeah.
She goes and kind of retires to her own little bed chamber.
Beautiful.
With that, is this a chain of short rests that you're attempting?
Yes.
Or not to assume.
It is a chain of short rests I will be attempting.
Yes. Just sort of passing the time in silence there.
Yeah, maybe a few bonus actions along the way. At the beginning and between each short rest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I see I know how it is.
Yeah.
Coffee lock things.
Coffee lock things.
As like occasionally you can hear some like rummaging around in your room. Most likely, probably from experience, you would know that there is a mirror in your room, and any clothing that you brought with you is probably being tried on.
I love it.
By one rather bored Ornessa. Who will...
I'll go take the chain of short rests in my room.
Okay.
And just watch her try on all the different dresses.
As the first time you walk in,
yeah.
You would see yourself like, posing in a way that you probably wouldn't pose. In like a very like fine dress.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh,
I'll like open the door, so like...
Will like peep as she like, oh,
Huh.
Hi.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm going to leave now.
I mean, you can keep trying on the dresses if you want, but maybe not as me.
Oh.
Actually, now I have a mirror. So it'd be pretty cool to see what I look like in them, but I'll close the door and I'll go, like, not meditate, but, like, maybe read a book or something.
Yeah.
On the bed, and...
Ornessa will go back to her, like, regular form.
Yeah. Change up some spell slots.
Sure. As the night goes on, yeah, Ornessa will literally just go through everything in your wardrobe, just kind of like, why not? Eventually settling on the clothes she was wearing before, because that's her only set.
Yeah.
And then sort of...
How many clothes do I have?
Whatever you brought with you, so probably like a few odds and ends.
Oh, not many then.
Yeah.
Oh, like brought with me from home?
Yes.
Technically? Oh, okay, yeah.
I assume you'd have something of a wardrobe, maybe?
Oh, I would assume growing up as a lady on a ship, I would have a selection.
Yeah, some fine clothes for sure.
I know I have Ornessa's pink and green dress.
Oh.
Which I'll bring. A fine red dress.
Yes, which should be, I think that's what's in your art.
Oh, probably. No, I just have it in my inventory.
Oh, yeah.
I have a lot of jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
My obsidian scepter.
You got a lot of scepters and like staffs and stuff.
I have a crown.
Interesting. Yeah, Ornessa, for sure, if you have jewelry there, she'll be trying it on.
Though she loves the crown. She took it in the temple.
Oh, yes. just decked out in
Yeah.
jewels. Like, oh, the ring's so pretty. Like the different things. Eventually back to her original kind of attire. Kind of like clears her throat and says, well, I'm going to go and maybe bother Miria a little bit, because I know she needs to sleep. Someone's got to keep her up. But you're okay in here and everything?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Tell her if she needs to sleep, you know, we can. I don't know how you anchor an airship. Maybe not drop, but if they can hover.
Oh, I think it can mostly keep its course.
Oh.
We're not going to hit anything out here.
Yeah, fair.
And I don't know how the fleet works normally, but usually small ships like this probably work on their own. Anyway, I'm gonna go maybe pull a little prank on her or something.
Hey, I'm gonna like point at her. Be nice to Miria.
Okay.
We want her on our side.
If you say so. She kind of like jumps up and then into the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
As,
Sweet.
With that, we're left alone to ponder and to short rest.
On a short rest and like during like the rest portion, kind of reading, but like absentmindedly like reading and trying to form a connection again with the person that I heard before.
Yeah, I'll say you'll have a chance to make either an Arcana or a Religion check.
It's the same. 9. 10.
Okay. No luck.
No.
As you try and like pew, 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 the telepathy, you don't seem to be able to reach this person, whoever they were. However, the night otherwise passes uneventfully.
Beautiful.
There's like a few little creaks that Cornessa peeks in and says, Brae, how's it going? But like other than checking up on you,
yeah,
occasionally with like a little like jug of wine, she kind of otherwise keeps to herself. If anything, she's not used to really cutting loose as much as she has today. So for her, it's been wonderful. But she mostly just kind of like hangs out, drinks a bunch. No sign of Miria throughout the night.
Fair.
As day slowly but surely dawns, steely in the rain, which is still kind of like pouring down. I think that's what we'll end for tonight.
Beauty.
All right. On that note, thanks for listening.
Hasta la vista.